Hello guys, welcome to the 3D market commentary today. Today is Thursday, the 18th of February. Hopefully your week in the markets is going well so far. So my name is Becky, if you haven't met me before, if you haven't been on any of the sessions before. My email address is on its side there, becky@tradictive.com, so you can email me if you have questions about anything I cover in this session. You also got there the link tradewithufos.com/Becky. Now that's an important link because you can use that link to get this 3D market commentary email that I'm about to go through. Also, if you have any questions, you can ask in a public setting there. So I'll show you that in a second. Let me just put the disclaimers up there on the screen. That should come up there. Okay, so they're just being highlighted at the top. It's important that you guys read them, not just for legal reasons, but for just to understand that when we go through these kind of things, it's more of a demonstration to show you how we do it. It's still ultimately up to you as to what trade you place, what money you use, if you use money at all, if you trade on a simulated or demo account or anything like that. Ultimately up to you. We're just showing you how we do things. Okay, so that's the disclaimers. That's got that bit out of the way. So let's show you the link that I was telling you about. So tradewithufos.com/Becky. All you need to do is fill in this bit up here, name and email address, and follow the steps, and then you'll be able to get a free membership account. That means you will get sent the 3D market commentary that I'm about to go through. And then also down here, once you've logged in and once you've got that account, you can ask a question in a public setting, which means if you have a question, probably other people have the same question. We'll all be able to see it and everyone will be able to see the answers as well. So it helps the entire community, I think, to ask questions in public as opposed to by email. But of course you can email me as well if you'd like. Okay, so if we just bring up the thing I wanted to bring up. So here we are. Lovely. Okay, so this on the left, this is the market summary. This is the 3D market commentary. So I've opened it in a browser, but it will look like this roughly in your email if you've got it through today. Now, the market summary goes through 5 major markets in the world, and we're using the data and the technology that we use to be able to show us where probabilities lie. Again, clue is in the word probability. It's not a guarantee, it's not definitely going to happen. It's just where we have the highest probability, the highest likelihood. So we go through a couple of things and I'll show you for each market. But just as a brief summary at the start, what we're looking at is we have our auto climate app at the bottom of every chart. And that's something, for some reason I've lost my drawing thing. So I'll just have to circle it around there. So we have our thick blue dot there showing us on our auto climate. We also see that we could have a thick red dot and we could have thin dots as well. Now the auto climate app is telling us whether we have probabilities to the upside, to the downside, or in no direction really. So in this case, we have a thick blue dot here on the S&P, which tells us we have a confirmed upwards climate. That's what we see here when we look at the S&P at this first bit of the market summary. We have an upwards climate and it's confirmed. So upwards and yes, thick blue dot, that's what that's telling us. Now, what are the numbers? What does the stats mean? So here we see we have some numbers on our chart, and basically what these numbers are telling us is how often that market usually moves to the direction that it's already going in, and then how far we're currently moving in the direction it's already going in. So at the moment, we can see that normally this market, normally the S&P, the futures contract of the S&P, would go up for 8.84 candles before it stops and changes direction. So if we round that up, that's 9 candles. So normally it goes up for 9 candles on a daily chart, so 9 days in a row before it stops and changes direction. We've currently been going up for 11 candles. What that means is we've surpassed what is usual, we've surpassed what is probable or likely in this market, which means it's less likely to keep going up, more likely to probably change its mind and come back down. That's not to say that will happen definitely, it's just to say that it's a more probable situation to happen based on what usually happens in these markets, based on stats that we see. Now when it comes to UFOs, UFOs are these bad boys here. So we've got our little flying saucers, and although it's UFOs, UFO actually stands for unfilled order. What that means is we have stacks of orders in the markets, buy orders and sell orders that can push it up or down. If you have loads of buy orders and less sell orders, price goes up. If you have loads of sell orders and less buy orders, price goes down. It's simple, it's almost physics, right? So what UFOs are doing, what auto UFOs are doing, what these little flying saucers are showing us, is it's scanning through data and it's finding where there is a high probability of there being, in this case, buy orders, if it's green UFOs, If it's red UFOs, it would be sell orders. So again, we have an idea of where we might have probability that price changes direction. So here, the closest green UFO we have is this top one, which is 3843.50 to 3807.75. Now, that's our closest buy UFO, and as you can see, no sell UFOs above us, nothing above us. And we can see that here on the email as well. We've got a buy UFO with the data, and we've got sell UFOs, nothing there. Because there are no sell UFOs on this chart, we're pretty much at all-time highs, so that's why. Now, coming down to market volatility, that means how fast or how far we can expect price to move within given periods of time. We use the VIX to get the raw data there, and then we can extrapolate that out and figure out what that means per day, per week, per month. So based on the VIX, we can say that we would expect a movement on the S&P up or down in one day of 55.02 points. In 1 week, 121.12 points, either up or down. In a month, 252.12 points, either up or down. Now again, this isn't an exact thing, it's definitely going to move 55.02 points. Again, this is an up or down value. Again, it's just telling us what is most likely to happen. So it gives us an idea of how far we can expect price to move within these given periods of time. And then we can use climate and AutoUFOs to add the probabilities as to which direction and maybe where on the chart we're likely to see reactions. So we put all of that data together to help us to build a methodology that makes sense. So that's the S&P. Let's move on to the next one. Just as a thing there, if you're completely new to this and you have no idea what I'm saying, you can take any of our courses. They're really affordable and really easy to do, self-paced, so that you can learn about these kind of things and understand it a little bit more. All of the courses, by the way, come with 3 months complimentary access to the apps. AutoClimate by itself is a free app anyway. AutoUFOs, depending on what platform you use, is different prices, but again, comes for free as part of the courses. Okay, so crude oil, let's look at the next one. So we're looking at CL1 there. There we go. So this is crude oil. Again, we've got the same thing. We've got our AutoClimate on the bottom, AutoUFOs on the chart, so that again we can figure out where the probabilities lie. So here we have a thick blue dot on our AutoClimate, which tells us we have a confirmed upwards climate. That's what we see there on their email. Now this has gone quite past what is usual. I think there might be a little typo there. I think it's 12, not 13, but round about that. Either way, normally this market goes up by 7 candles to the upside. Again, I'm just rounding up that number. And we are on either 12 or 13 to the upside, which means we have definitely surpassed almost by twice as much as to what normally happens in this market. So again, that's not to say it won't keep breaking that. It obviously has continued to break what is normal for quite a few candles now. It just means that it's less likely to continue to happen based on what usually happens. You pull an elastic band and keep pulling, eventually it's going to snap back, it's not going to let you keep pulling it. So it's the same kind of thing with these, this kind of thought process here. In terms of buy and sell UFOs, we have our closest buy UFO here, 58.91 to 57.27. That's this one that I'm sort of circling there with my mouse. Closest sell UFO, let's just bring the chart down a little bit, it's just above us there. At 62.11 to 65.65. So that's where we see the closest sell UFO. So bearing in mind that we've kind of surpassed what is a normal move to the upside and we've just hit a sell UFO, I wouldn't be surprised if we see oil turn over, but at the same time we do have a confirmed upwards climate. So again, no real probabilities one side or the other here with oil. In terms of volatility, we use the OVX, and we can see from that in a day we would expect a movement up or down of 1.43 points. In a week we would expect movement up or down of 3.14 points, and in a month we'd expect a movement up or down of 6.53 points. So again, just gives us an idea of what we expect movement up or down roughly, and then we can use climate and UFOs to help us figure out in which direction and where we're going to get in. So again, AutoUFOs is the app that comes up and shows us where the orders are. You can subscribe to the app through the email. And again, AutoClimate is a free app anyway. Let's have a look there at gold. So gold is the next market. Here we are. Okay, so gold, slightly different look than the other markets here. We have a confirmed downwards climate. Again, we see that here on the email. And we see here we have a thick red dot, which tells us confirmed downwards climate. Now, usually this market would go down for 7 candles in a row, and we're on number 4. So what that means is we have been moving down kind of in the middle-ish as to what would be a normal move to the downside. So again, probabilities of a continuous move there to the downside, at least for another couple of days. Not to say definite or guaranteed, but just probable, more likely. In terms of buy and sell UFOs, let's just squidge price a little bit here so we can see what we're looking at. Closest sell UFO is this one just here. That's 1810.1 to 1831.5. This one just here. And then we have a buy UFO just below us at 1754.9 to 1706.2. Now, we're in the middle of those two. So again, UFOs are not necessarily controlling the price right now. We're not close to either one of them really to push it up or down. It could hit either one of them first and react. But we do have a confirmed downwards climate there with a little bit of room for it to continue down when it comes to gold. So overall, probabilities to the downside there with gold on a daily chart. Of course, things are different on different time frames. Now, when it comes to volatility, we use the GVZ or GVZ, and we see from that we would expect a movement up or down in one day of 23.02 points, in a week up or down of 50.68 points, and in a month up or down of 105.51 points. Again, gives us an idea of how far we can expect my price to move up or down within these given periods of time. Okay, so when it comes to coaching, you could sign up for coaching with us. Again, affordable, easy to access, where we're going to be in the markets trading these things on a regular basis. You can join us on YouTube as well, so you can check that out. Okay, let's look at the next market, which is the dollar. So the dollar index, here we are. Now, the dollar accounts for about 80% of all transactions worldwide every single day. So big market. It has obviously a lot of influence, not just in currencies, but of course in stock market movements, in prices of gold and loads of other things. So even if you don't trade the dollar, being aware of what happens with it is a really good thing, I would suggest. So with the dollar here, we have a confirmed upwards climate that's just started. So we have a thick blue dot here. Usually this market would go up for 5.01. I'm going to round that up to 6. I know it's weird to round it up if it's such a low decimal place. It's just that you can't have 0.01 of a candle. It will kind of start a new candle there. So that's why I'm rounding that up. So normally it goes up for 6 candles and we're on candle number 1. So probability of a continuous move there to the upside. Now, in terms of buy and sell UFOs, we're within a buy UFO right now, which would suggest normally that that's likely to push price upwards. So the numbers for that are 90.735 to 90.095. We have a sell UFO not too far ahead there at 91.49 to, I believe, 92.04. Yeah, that's the numbers. So obviously within the buy UFO, but close to a sell UFO, confirmed upwards climate with probability of a continuous move to the upside there. On the dollar, so overall, we've got buying power sort of winning against the selling power right now, but of course we'll see what happens. In terms of volatility, we use the EVZ or EVZ, and we can see from that we would expect to move up or down on the dollar in one day of 0.38 points, in a week up or down 0.83 points, and in a month up or down of 1.72 points. And again, we can use the climate and the AutoUFOs to help us figure out where we're going to do that in terms of up or down. Okay, obviously, like I said, you can view us on YouTube. So again, you can click on that link, go through to the YouTube channel and see loads of our videos. There's literally loads of them of each of the different instructors trading different things, explaining different concepts. So you can watch these market commentaries on YouTube. You can also watch a whole bunch of other things on YouTube as well. Okay, so last but not least, let's look at this market here, which is the backed Bitcoin. Oh, let me type that in properly. Obviously, that's fine. Obviously, Bitcoin is getting a lot of attention at the moment. No wonder why. It's obviously shot up a lot. But again, let's try and use statistics. Let's try and use technology to help us out with this as well and help us get in a better places, reduce our risk, increase our probability. So when it comes to the climate, we have a thick blue dot. No surprise there. Confirmed upwards climate. Now, why do we have question marks? Why do we have no stats? Reason for that is because the backed Bitcoin is a relatively new product. Of course, Bitcoin itself hasn't been around as long as the US dollar or as the US stock market or as gold or as oil. Meaning, there's not enough data yet to be able to say what usually happens one way or the other on a daily chart. You might get data on smaller time frame charts on this type of market. But when it comes to the daily chart, which is what we're using across all of these markets, we just simply don't have enough data to be able to say statistically speaking, this is what happens. What we do know is that we've had a move of 14 to the upside. If we look back a little bit here, we can see that obviously Bitcoin goes through phases where it goes up for a lot, and then it might pause for a little bit, and then it goes up for a lot, and then it might come down for a little bit, and then it goes up for a lot. So 14 doesn't necessarily mean that it's overbought, that it's overstretched, but we don't know. So just bear that in mind, that we don't have statistics on this to really be probable one way or the other. When it comes to UFOs, again, no surprise, we have no sell UFOs. We're at all-time highs, or pretty much, so no sell UFOs above us. In terms of buy UFOs, closest one is 5707.5 to 46440.0. So again, just underneath us there. So confirmed upwards climate plus buy orders just beneath us. Wouldn't be surprised to see it continue to the upside. However, it may be that we have surpassed what is usual or what is expectable for a move to the upside. So bear that in mind. Again, we don't really know because we don't really have the stats. Now, in terms of volatility, we look at the BVIN or BVIN. And we see from that we would expect a move up or down in one day, and this is the thing with Bitcoin, of 4,333.72. That's obviously quite a move. That's, you know, maybe 8% or so of its current value. That's quite a strong move in a day. That's what happens with cryptos a lot more than other markets. So again, bear that in mind. Protect yourself, risk management, stack probabilities on your side as much as you can. In a week, we'd expect a movement up or down of 9,540.24, and in 1 month, up or down of 19,859.59. So again, these are very great movements, very big movements here in Bitcoin, and this would be true of most cryptocurrencies as well. So again, just be aware of that. It's not good, it's not bad, it just is. If you're going to trade it, be aware of it. Okay, so those are the markets that we've covered today. Let's just come down here and look at the economic calendar that we need to be aware of. Again, we send this out at the start of the week, so you can see on the economic calendar what's coming out. Today being Thursday means that we have high impact news would have already come out on the euro, and then later on today on the Australian dollar. So again, depending on what you trade, just be aware of those things. It's not to say that you would not trade if there's high impact news coming out on a currency or in a country that you trade the stocks of or something like that, but just be aware of it. It can increase volatility. So we use the FX Street economic calendar for that, so you can go and check that, filter by high impact news if you want to check that out in a bit more depth. Now, when it comes to any questions that you have, of course, if this is the first time you've watched anything to do with trading, it might have gone over your head a little bit. I might have moved through it a little bit quickly. Lots to go through in these 15-20 minutes that we have. If you're interested in trading, you're interested in learning, but you have questions and you're not sure, you can schedule a clarification call with us, chat to one of our experts to figure out, should you even be trading? If so, what market makes the most sense to you, and then what do you need to do from there in terms of learning, apps, technology, coaching, or none of the above. So you can do that. Again, any other questions that you have, you can email me. I'm quite happy for you guys to email me. I prefer questions to come through on this public forum so other people can see the answer. If I've said something that doesn't make sense and it confuses you, I'll probably confuse other people as well. So again, put your question in a public setting by just going to tradewithufos.com/Becky. Get yourself a free membership at the top there. Ask the question, then I can answer it publicly. Everybody else can see the answer. Or you can email me. And again, once you've set yourself up with a free membership anyway, you'll get the newsletter through, and you'll get this this email through where you see what I've just gone through today every day. Okay, so that is me done for today, guys. Again, any questions, send them through, no problem whatsoever. Hope you have a great Thursday. Hope your trading goes well today, and hope you have a great weekend. I'll be back tomorrow anyway, so I'll see you tomorrow morning. Have a good day in the markets, guys. Take care. Bye-bye.